What is going on, guys? nKuch here, and today we're going to be doing a Trials of Osiris simple strats video. I know I haven't made one of these in a while, but I thought I'd make one for this specific weekend, not because of the map, but rather the modifiers that Bungie ended up adding in. It was a massive surprise to the community when everyone woke up today and saw that there was actually two specific modifiers that Bungie added to kind of fool the community. And the first one is that radar is disabled, and the second one is that you cannot revive your teammates, something that changes the complexity of the game completely. These changes are seriously just insane. It changes absolutely everything there is about teamwork, communication, map awareness. And so what I'm going to do in this video is throw some tips your way and then talk a little bit more about detailed strategies that hopefully you guys can kind of do yourself, that can help you win some rounds and eventually help you go flawless and get that lighthouse loot chest. Now, of course, if you guys end up enjoying this video or learning anything, I'd highly appreciate it if you dropped a like, and let's get right into this. Now, before I do talk about the tips and strats, I want to mention one funny Easter egg that Bungie added for Trials of Osiris, and that is that there is a random spider that pops up on the left top hand corner of your screen, and it kind of walks down your screen, and it also comes with a sound effect. It's almost like bats flying and somebody screaming. Of course, it's there to troll you and to kind of scare you. When me and my teammates first saw this, we absolutely shit ourselves, and it was just one of those funny, pretty awesome things that Bungie did to kind of screw with the community and have some fun, and I definitely liked it. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about some of the general tips that can help you and your fire team out. So the first thing I want to talk about is team chemistry and communication. This is probably one of the most key things I'm going to talk about in this video, so make sure you listen pretty carefully. I would personally recommend that if you are a player that isn't the most skillful and the most confident in your ability in Crucible, I would say that as a team, you want to make sure you stay together literally 100% of the time. If you are not confident in your abilities, if you don't think you are a top tier player, I would just highly advise you guys to not split up whatsoever. Make sure you are not going on any flank solo, because it is impossible to know what's happening around the map if you are separated and you're far away from your teammates. So a good rule of thumb is to make sure you guys are no further than 10 to 15 feet away from each other. That's kind of the good baseline that I would give, but obviously that can change depending on your particular situation and what kind of gunfight engagement you're in. But make sure for the most part that if somebody is rotating around the map, that you guys as a team are calling that out and everybody's on the same page. If one guy starts rotating around the map and the other two are way too distracted and tunnel visioned in their own minds, they're gonna end up getting separated and they're gonna get picked off by a really good team. So you want to make sure that communication is solid. Have a team leader that's calling out, hey guys, we're gonna push into blue room as a team, make sure we all start rotating now, or something along the lines of that. For my team, I like to do that. Sometimes it's not me who does that. Just make sure everybody can listen and call out, because this week in particular, you're gonna need communication, trust me. Just to give you guys an example, me and my fire team did exactly what I'm talking about. We made sure that we stuck together at all times, and we never really pushed an angle by ourselves. The moments that we did were the moments that we got punished for. So that just goes to show you, because my teammates both were pretty capable players, and of course I think I'm pretty decent at this game. So it doesn't matter if you're great, if you're decent, if you're bad at this game. The rule of thumb for this weekend is just sticking with your teammates and making sure that you're all on the same page and relatively close to each other. The next tip we're going to be talking about is map awareness, and this relates pretty well to what I just mentioned with team communication and chemistry. Now, of course, it's difficult to teach somebody how to be aware of their surroundings, but this is a tip that I actually use myself on a pretty regular basis when I'm playing game modes with no radar. Take a look at your screen and just pause for a second. If you see your teammates' names on your screen, then you're good. If you don't see your teammates' names on the map right in front of you, then you're kind of in a bad situation, because you don't know where your teammates are, and if you don't know where your teammates are, you don't know which lanes and which areas of the map they're covering. If you know where your teammates are and if they're in your lines of sight, that means that you can kind of eliminate certain areas of the map, which kind of gives you a better understanding of where the enemy could be. I know this tip may be a little bit vague, and trust me, it is impossible to describe what map awareness is to somebody. The best thing I can say is it just comes with time and practice, so that one tip is really all I have for map awareness. Hopefully you guys understood it well enough to kind of help you out at least a little bit. The last tip that I have for you guys is actually a pretty interesting one, and I came up with this myself just because I have a headset. Now, what I like to do is not give my opponents a chance to know where I'm coming from, and I do this by eliminating two things. I do not Warlock Glide, Titan Skate, blink, or jump up at all. I try to eliminate it entirely in my Trials of Osiris gameplay. I also try not to slide at all, and the reason why I don't do this is because if you do this and the other team has a headset, they're going to hear you and pinpoint your exact location around the map. This is not a game like Call of Duty where you can get away with, crouching and jumping and stuff like that and not being heard. Footsteps in this game are actually pretty damn silent, so you can sprint around the map whenever you want, wherever you want, and for the most part, people won't hear you. But the second that you start jumping, blinking, throwing grenades, reloading, and sliding, they are going to hear you and pinpoint your exact location. The reason why I know this is because I use a pair of Astros. Whenever people are jumping or sliding, I pinpoint their exact locations when I'm in the center of the map, and I make easy callouts to my teammates. So if you want to be kind of stealthy and an absolute ninja, make sure to limit your sliding and jumping and just make sure you're sprinting across the map. That's it for the tips that I have for you guys. What I'm going to talk about now is some general strats. Now, I'm only going to simplify this into two strats, one for the aggressive players and one for the players that like to play a little bit more defensively. Let's start off with the defensive approach. Normally, you would use this strategy if you know that going to center map will not benefit your team. You're either going to get outgunned or they're just simply going to beat you there because of their speed. That is why you would use the defensive approach in my experience at least, and it doesn't really matter what spawn you have. You can use this approach if your team is not confident against the other one, and this could actually help you out quite a lot. So regardless of which spawn you're on, if you want to play defensively, I would recommend as a team pushing to Blue Room. Blue Room is where the old heavy ammo used to spawn. I'm sure you guys know most of your callouts. The Blue Room is pretty much between gold stairs and between bones. It's the room in the very back of the map, and the reason why you want to go there is because there's actually two doors that lead out of blue and into mid. So normally the aggressive team is going to beat you to mid map, and what they're going to do is they're going to set up in this room and just watch each other's backs and make sure that they can trade you guys off effectively. But the strat that you can do to counter this is make sure to have two different angles on them. So go over to blue and have one teammate open one door and have two teammates open the other door, and at the exact same time make kind of a push in there and slowly start to team shot them. That is the only effective way that I have found to beat people that like to sit in the middle of the map. And that's really it. That is the first strat, and that is the defensive strat. Honestly, camping in your spawn is just a strat that's pretty damn annoying, and I really don't want to advocate it, so I'm not even going to talk about it. If you're using a defensive strat, go to blue and do what I told you. Now, if you guys would like to be the aggressive team and use the aggressive strat, well, what you're going to have to do is equip heavy slaying weapons and preferably a shotgun, and go into mid room as soon as you possibly can and pre-nade check the doors. If you guys don't know what that is, it's pretty much using your Axion bolts, your skip grenades, anything that has an AoE effect, and just instantly get to mid room and throw your grenades across the map and try tagging as many people as you can. A lot of people are going to run in there and shotgun warrior. You have to be prepared to counter that, and make sure you have aggressive weapons such as the palindrome, AS Luna, the last word, and anything close and personal. That is the aggressive role, and if you beat a team a few times, what they're going to end up doing is being a lot more reluctant to push in there, and if you're in mid room, you're most of the time going to have an advantage. So those are the two strats. You can be aggressive and push the mid room, or you can be defensive and get an angle on the people that are sitting in the mid room. That's really it for the tips and the strats, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I really hope that a lot of you guys go flawless. For those wondering, I don't think these changes are permanent. This is just a Halloween modifier Trials of Osiris event that's made to have fun and kind of spice things up. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like as it supports the channel, subscribe for more daily Destiny content. Have a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.